In preparing for this recording, it just gave me a total PTSD flashback to the pandemic, and we had the Great Resignation. Oh my goodness, at the time of this recording is 2025, and I was just thinking about that, and I was also thinking about this idea that once we find a great teammate, a great team member, we want so badly to keep them. I think about the NCAA collegiate coaches right now and what they're having to do and work so hard, not just to find new talent, but to keep the talent they already have, because it's so easy for these players to go back and forth. And so let's talk about this idea of retention in your business so that you can make sure to retain the right talent, the talent that is really offering a lot of value, not only to the business and the mission itself, but also to the actual talent that's there. They're finding joy in their work. So let's see if we can liberate you from chaos and retaining the right talent. It's Scott Beebe with Business on Purpose. Again, go check out the Dickie and Donnie show on this thread, that wonderful podcast that Sean and Brandon, two of the coaches here at Business on Purpose, have been building for you. We've got a lot of people listening to it. Super fun. All right, let's talk about retention. Retain talent. You've got to learn to invest time in deep, meaningful conversations. Now, I realize I've just lost a lot of you. Some of you might just turn this podcast off because you're thinking that is not within my wheelhouse. Listen, people crave attention. You do too. I do too. We crave connection. When we feel disconnected, we're likely to go look somewhere else, no matter how rewarding the work itself might be. You might go, well, this is my ideal job. Yeah, but it's not my ideal culture. So one effective way to foster the connection is through what we call the Big Five feedback loop. It's a concept you've heard me mention before on this podcast, and it's inspired by the Big Five safari animals in Africa. And to be honest, I don't really remember what they are. I'm sure there's probably a lion and a giraffe and an elephant or something like that, but you can look them up. And it consists of those 5 elements that are crucial for small business success. So let's talk about the Big Five feedback loop. So just imagine a loop, and you've got 5 points on it. The first of those points is what we call the team meeting. Now, some of you are like, well, that's not new. Well, hold on. This is a weekly, 1 hour. It's a gathering led by a leader with a set agenda. So it's 1 hour, weekly, agenda-driven, leader-led. Now, during this meeting, here's what you'll do. You'll celebrate big wins. You'll review what we call the anchor. Those are the essential culture-building elements in your business. You want to do training every week. You want to do handbook reminders every week. You want to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. You want to remind everybody what's coming up in the next 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, things to look at on your calendar. You want to remember to do all that stuff, but we don't do it because we get too busy talking about the stuff, the projects, the sales for that day or whatever. And during this team meeting, you also discuss what we call your 12-week goals. These are your 3 objectives or goals that are set for each quarter. So the team meeting covers each business system, marketing, sales, ops, admin, to address any needs, but all at a very high level. Each one of those is going to have their own individual meetings. I'll talk about that next. So in the team meeting, it's important to note that this is not a problem-solving session for specific projects. Did you catch that? Problem-solving sessions are handled in separate production, or what we call departmental meetings. So let's talk about that one. This is the second along the Big Five feedback loop. First is team meetings. Second is departmental meetings. These weekly 1 hour sessions focus on one specific system or department of the business. Again, marketing meeting, sales meetings, ops meeting, administrative meeting. Now, if you want to merge marketing and sales, if you're small, I get it. But you review repetitive elements and key results for each system. In your operations meeting, this is where you can actually go back and do your production time, talk job by job, but this is the only place to be able to do it. The third element, so remember the first is team meeting, the second is departmental meetings, the third is the executive meeting. This involves the high-level leadership team and takes a bird's eye view of the business. Even if you're a small operation, it's valuable to be able to step back and look at the big picture once or twice a month. The fourth meeting is the one-on-one check-in. These brief 15-minute meetings should happen with every team member once or twice a month. They follow a 5-question format. You ready? You can rewind this. Number 1, what big win do you have from the month? Could be anything professionally around the business. Number 2, what are you seeing and thinking right now? I know, broad, right? They're intentionally so. Number 3, what blind spots do I have? Number 4, what do you need from me? And number 5, here's what I see and here's what I need from you. The last point is not a question, but more so an opportunity for you to provide candid feedback. So we've got team meeting, departmental meeting, executive meeting, one-on-one check-in, and the fifth element is the annual performance review. This is conducted once or twice a year. And what makes this effective is the two-way nature. See, half the review involves you evaluating the team member, while the other half is actually their own self-assessment. You can use the same question for both parts, typically distributed via a form for the employee to complete before the review meeting. And so if you'll implement the Big Five feedback loop, team meetings, departmental meetings, executive meetings, one-on-one check-in, and the annual performance review, you create multiple touch points for communication and connection. And when you do this, it helps build a strong, engaged unit that feels valued and understood. And so retention becomes less of an issue. It's always going to be an issue because we're dealing with people, right? But it becomes less of an issue, ultimately improving the talent retention and overall business success. I know this breeds a lot of questions about details. Hey, go to businessonpurpose.com/ask. If you're a business with 3 or more employees, $1 million or more in revenue, and you really, really want to grow, then go to businessonpurpose.com/ask. Each of our coaches sets aside about 15 to 20 minutes a week to be able to answer any questions that you have. No strings attached, of course. If you want to know how to work with us, just ask, and we'll tell you. businessonpurpose.com/ask.